Grand rising and bright blessings to all of my pedal patrons. Welcome to Saturn Day, the 6th of September. It is also a 6 numerological energy value and frequency day. I talk about the numerology every single day with the astrology because on its own, it carries an intrinsic value. Numerology carries frequency. Frequency supports the motion in the ocean of all of the different portions of the bodies of you, mental body, physical body, spiritual body, and all the other things that are connecting into your auric field and things of that nature. It gives you the series of instructions for the day if you are a little bit confused about the astrology portion. This is important to me because the 6th value that we're sitting in today specifically speaks of not only bringing things into the balance between the divine feminine and the divine masculine, but it very specifically talks about the things that are associated with love. It talks about including loving yourself. It talks about wealth, prosperity, specifically the manyan, the money. It talks about your health. It talks about those things that you might need to be able to appreciate. So when people are talking about doing prosperity workings or they're talking about abundance in general, let's get specific about the abundance because abundance has a different value to different people for different reasons. Some people want the abundance of time. Some people want the abundance of resources to come in, which isn't necessarily monetary. And some people want the money. So there it is. You have all the different ways of those things showing up. Now, today, on this 6th universal energy, the universe is asking you to pay attention to where things could possibly be a little bit out of whack. So if you think about yourself as a physical human magnet, and let's say you've got 5 filaments that make everything hunky-dory, and this one right here is puttering just a little bit, and then maybe this one putters just a little bit, and maybe this one's sort of like doing its thing. Obviously, we can't be all high vibe all day. That's just not realistic, and we can't survive in that energy. We have to allow things to ebb and flow. We have to allow things to be adaptable and flexible. But if you could identify where a couple of those things might need a little bit of your work, true embodiment, don't just talk about it, be about it, do the damn thing, literally. If you can identify a few of those different things in any of those areas, plus anything else that's important to you, where you might need to do just a little bit more work, the universe is saying this is one of the best days to get that done. And yes, well, I'm going to show you the astrology stuff in just a second, and it might look a little bit catawampus and chaotic. I'm going to explain all that to you. But again, only 3 transits are taking place on the 6th universal day. One of them we've already gone through, and that, of course, is the Uranus going retrograde in Gemini. The second thing is about to hit us in the next little bit of time here, and that's where the moon is shifting into the sign of Pisces. And then the last transit's going to be about 2:30 this afternoon, and that is where the moon in Pisces is going to have a square with that Uranus, which is in Gemini. That's it. Those are the only things that are going to take place today. So you have the rest of the day to focus on what is most important to you. What are those going to impact for people? Well, half the damn planet is involved in the astrology of the day. You'll see that here in just a second. So sometimes going just to the numerology alone can be easier for you to navigate, but I'll explain it to you like this. With Uranus now going into retrograde, that makes 6 planets in retrograde. So retrogrades, again, review, reflect, readjust, rescind your energy from things that make no sense any longer if it's preventing you from getting what it is that you want. And that's what the universe is asking you to do. Now, I'm going to show you the map here in just a second. There's some wild things that are taking place, but only 3 of those are contributing themselves to the chat, again, in big preparation for what we're going to experience tomorrow afternoon at the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces, which is the North Node, and Virgo, which is the South Node. We'll talk about that more later, or we'll take another look at that broadcast. But I will see some of you guys later on live, so if you have questions about either the astrology or you want to do other types of readings, then I look forward to supporting you. Let's go ahead and bring up the map and see what else the universe is throwing at us. Here we go. Here it is. We have a cardinal grand cross taking place today. So that involves all of the cardinal signs, this thick blue line that you see going on betwixt a Libra all the way across to Aries, that energy, and then obviously this other blue line coming down from Leo into Aquarius. And then you can see that there is a square connecting all of these different energies today. That is a cardinal grand cross. So, but it is up, down, left, right, north, south, east, west, that type of energy, like getting you ready for a big change. That's sort of the big frequency energy of what that means today. The other big energy that is added to the chat now, because the Uranus, which is hanging out in Gemini, is having we have a T-square. So we have the square, the red line here, going towards the energy of what's taking place here within the Mercury, which Mercury sitting next to Virgo in its home zone, it rules Virgo and it rules Gemini. So we've got a square. We have to talk about that because this is communications, right? Because Uranus is responsible for, again, the way that we think about ourselves in originality, our independence. It governs the way that we are communicating. It does govern some technological things as well, but the squares that come in are like, what are you communicating to yourself? What are you telling the universe? What are you vocalizing or writing down? What are you commanding in the universe? And sometimes your spiritual journey, it's a little bit difficult to think about the fact that you can command the universe. But when you get to that point and you know how to do it, it is something you will never let go of. However, sometimes people forget that you are in control of the communication. And then the other part of the T-square comes down here from the Uranus down here into, Aquarius. But again, the moon is going to move out of Aquarius and into Pisces within the next 25-30 minutes from the time that this broadcast is being shown. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. So, yes, and the other co-ruler of Aquarius is Saturn. But on the Saturn day, when you're looking at all of these different things in play, even though we still have a positive trine, the green lines in the planets around change, Pluto and this Uranus, it is a positive day. We also have the North Node in a positive trine with Jupiter. So Pisces is co-ruled by Jupiter, and it's also co-ruled by Neptune. All those different things that are going on today, we still have more sextiles. So those are the purple lines that are in here that are telling us we have an opportunity to change the energetics of what's going on with Pisces in a positive way. We have the opportunity to make that shift change between what Saturn is doing here on Saturn day and this Uranus and some of the other little configurations that are going on. More sextiles today, more so than anything else. That's basically what I wanted to get across. We have 8 total sextiles. So those are softer opportunities to make the changes that we need to make a little bit more palatable and a little bit more flexible, which is what is taking place here with all of these different mutable signs. So the cardinal signs are having a cross, but the mutable signs are Virgo, Gemini, Pisces, and Sagittarius. So half the damn planet is involved with all the different things that we have going on. At the end of the day, bottom line, net, this is about you identifying what it is and one or more of those areas that you know you need to do something a little bit different with. Period. Full stop. Tomorrow, when we get to the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces, challenging the connection between the new hotness, the north node of Pisces, the big dreamer energy, versus the south node, the old and busted energy of Virgo, being too rigid, and blending and balancing those things out for a more perfect balance opportunity for long-term future growth for yourself personally, physically, mentally, spiritually, all those things, but also the way that you're contributing your energy into this Mama Gaia, planet Earth, your personal Earth walk. All will be well. Here's the deal. Ease and grace, giving the divine intelligence the opportunity to support you, but you got to do the damn thing and you got to command what it is that you want to be able to experience and take ownership. If you know that you should be eating a salad instead of eating that Twinkie, that's on you. If you know you should be either on that vibration plate or that bicycle or taking a walk instead of like laying in bed with a bag of chips, that also is on you. If you need to balance your checkbook today, you need to make sure your money is moneying properly, that is on you. And if you have apologies or other things that need to be done within personal relationships or even friendships, that also is on you. But you can get it done with a lot of ease and grace today. Many, many blessings. We'll see some of you guys later on live. Bye for now.